I know you're looking for something to do between March 1st and March 23rd.
Come see King James at the Alcott Theater here at CPH.
The two guys in the show, they are fantastic. They are going to take you on a wild ride.
See you on the court.
What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be reviewing the newest play at Playhouse Square, King James. So King James is written by Rajiv Joseph and directed by Montez Freeland, and it stars Robert Hunter and Michael Patrick Trim. And to keep it simple, this is a play about two Clevelanders who become friends over their love for LeBron James. You get to watch their friendship span across 12 years from LeBron's rookie season all the way to the championship parade in 2016. And so I won't go into any spoilers in this review, but if you're the type of person who just wants to find out if this thing is worth seeing or not without any further commentary, then I'll just say yes, go see it. This play was very entertaining and funny, and if you're a fan of the Cavaliers, or even if you're not a fan at all, then I'd still recommend going to see this at Playhouse Square because it is definitely worth it. And that leads me to the first point I want to make, which is this isn't really a play about LeBron James. Yes, there's plenty of LeBron references, and like I said, if you're a Cavs fan, then you're going to have a bunch of things to enjoy about this. But I want to be clear that LeBron is not the main focus of this story, and he doesn't take center stage in the way that I think a lot of people might assume walking into this. Just from what I've heard, it seems like people assume or expect that this is a play about LeBron's life story or something, but it's really not that. And that's not a bad thing, because I think the idea of using LeBron's career in Cleveland as a way to parallel some of the ups and downs of this friendship, it's a really creative way to tell a story. This play is really all about two friends, Sean and Matt, and the two actors who play them do a fantastic job of really carrying this entire thing. Not to take anything away from the creative and production teams that put all of this into place, but the entire play hinges on these two actors holding your attention because they're the only two members of the cast. The entire thing is just two friends talking back and forth in different settings, and so the play has multiple breaks to set up new scenes, and there's an intermission halfway through, so you're not just watching them talk for 2 straight hours. But you still needed these two actors to be awesome as Sean and Matt, and Robert Hunter and Michael Patrick Trim are an absolute slam dunk. I never felt bored or like I was waiting for things to wrap up. The pacing of the show and the chemistry between the two actors keeps you engaged all the way through, and there's a ton of comedy in this play where the majority of the jokes landed for me and my audience, and there's even some pretty sharp tonal shifts along the way that really keep you on your toes. Again, without spoiling anything, there's a fair amount of drama in this friendship, and there's also a lot of things that are either only implied or subtly mentioned, like different relationships that each person had or didn't have with their parents, the different backgrounds that both of our characters come from, their romantic relationships. There's just a lot of tension that's brewing under the surface throughout, and it all kind of leads to a great moment later in the show where both actors again are just phenomenal in delivering their side of the blow up. So the two lead actors are great in this, and I think overall the play is very well written by Rajiv Joseph. You can tell that this play comes from a true Clevelander. Someone who understood what LeBron James meant to the city all the way from the time that he was just a teenager to the decision and eventually the homecoming and obviously the 2016 season. There are moments and lines in this that only a true Clevelander could have written, and so those moments are what got the biggest laugh out of the crowd when I was there, and big credit to Rajiv Joseph for nailing it. So the main things I would say to look forward to in this play are a set of great performances from the two main actors, some genuine heartfelt and even tense moments, a bunch of Cleveland references and LeBron references, and a little bit of deeper political messaging. It doesn't go overboard, but this show definitely wants to comment on some of the racial tensions that were brewing and honestly are still brewing in America during the 2010s. And connecting it to LeBron James specifically, yes, there were people who have hated him for basketball reasons, but a lot of the hate that LeBron has dealt with throughout his career, whether it was in Cleveland or from Fox News, it always had some heavy racial undertones to it. Sometimes it wasn't even an undertone, it was just straight up shut up and dribble, as I'm sure you're all aware. So this show manages to touch on those topics and bring them to an interpersonal light between these two friends that I only wish we focused on a little bit longer. That's probably the only complaint I had with the play, is that there's something huge that gets brought up in the third quarter, but then it never feels totally resolved in my opinion. But I guess that might also just reflect the current state of our country, where there's a lot of things that we still haven't really resolved or addressed. So that was probably the broader point and the message of the play. Again, it doesn't go overboard, and this play does mainly focus on a friendship that goes throughout 12 years, so it's an examination of that friendship and how people grow and change throughout time. It's not all laughs and championship parades. There's plenty of ups and downs that we all go through, and again, the show hits on all of those notes. The other minor complaint I have is that if you get to the show early, you're gonna get this really awesome setup on the stage with a TV that is showing LeBron highlights and trivia questions, but it's the same highlight and maybe 3 trivia questions that are just playing on a loop. And I was a little disappointed because I know I'm nitpicking, but I'm just saying there is no shortage of LeBron footage that we could have showed. We have hours and hours of this dude playing basketball, so it would have been nice to have a few more highlights to look to while I waited for the show to start. But yeah, overall, that's not really a big complaint. I'm just kind of messing around, but I do think using LeBron's career as a vessel to tell a 12-year-long story about friendship was an awesome idea. Sports really do bring us together in a way that very few things can, and I think King James captures that feeling of camaraderie and community that you can build with sports fans. So if you're a big Cavs fan and you're looking for something to do this weekend, or even if you're just from Cleveland and you'll understand all the references, then I highly recommend you go support Playhouse Square and go see King James. Because look, we need all the good positive energy we can get in Cleveland, because if everything goes right this season, maybe that 2016 banner won't be so lonely. But that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it and you want to see me do more reviews like this, then please go hit up my second channel. I plan on doing movie reviews just like this one, so if this is your type of thing and you somehow aren't bored of me yet, then please go check that out. And if you end up seeing King James, or if you've already seen it, then please leave a comment under this video. What did you think of it? Do you agree or disagree with my takes? I would really love to know. And with all that being said, go Cavs!